What's up, everybody? This is Phil Rogacki.
And I'm Jared Abergina.
You're listening to Two Tree Guys Podcast. What's up, everybody? This is Phil Rogacki here with another episode of Two Tree Guys. This is your first time listening in on the show. Thank you for joining us. This show was put on by myself and my buddy Jared Abergina, who's not here with us today. He's out in the field, and I'm joined by two special guests that came in, two veterans from the Two Tree Guy podcast that are here, two superpowers in the industry that are here. So I'm excited to have just to talk today about, we have no freaking idea, no agenda. It's going to be awesome. But before we get started today, guys, listen. People, this costs money to put this show on. This costs money to edit the videos and to put it on all the podcasts, and no one's paying us for this. So the only fee that you have to pay if you're listening to it is share it. Share it on your page. Share it to other people in the industry. That's all we're asking. But if you did want to send something, it would be more than fine with it. No, we don't have ads. We don't have commercials that are playing through this going on. That's annoying as hell, because I've listened to podcasts that it's just super annoying that you have a great conversation happening and it's stopped by some stupid ass commercial I don't want to hear. So share it. That's all we ask. And if you don't like it or anything, send hate mail to Travis's house. So
thanks.
But on this show, we have some different episodes. We have our full length episode, which you're going to have today, of a couple people that actually come into the studio, and we talk about the industry, we talk about life, we talk about business, we talk about bullshit. We usually drink beers, but we're going to save that after. We have another episode, What's Your Story? Where we travel around to different trade shows, and sometimes in here too that we have short stories, just hearing people's stories of how they got in the industry. And then we have our marketing segment called Mic Drop. We bring, a 30 to 45 minute podcast about marketing, about sales, of how you guys can improve your businesses out there in the field doing that. But today, like I said, the Goliaths in the industry, some shorter, some taller, but influencers in our industry, and some with no social media. We got Travis Vickerson, welcome.
Thank you.
A veteran, and Hans Tielmann, one of our first podcasts that we posted, back in the studio again.
I am so happy to be here. It was worth every light that I got stuck at driving here this afternoon. And I was like, man, these lights are like 25 seconds long. And I'm like, do I blow it? Or do I? And then they have signs, don't blow the light. $10,000 ticket.
Yeah, they're expensive out here in California.
I'm like, I just can't get there fast enough.
Well, you're here, man. You made it.
I get, you guys put me into such a zen when I come out here. This whole place, the whole vibe, just, I love it. I love what you guys are doing. And I'm so bummed I couldn't get out here sooner. I remember when we were here last time, I was like, I'm coming back for the master class. I'm going to make it. I'm going to come to Matt Mecky's class, and I'm going to hang out. And then I had a class to teach.
Well, he was waiting the whole time. He's like, no, I think Hans is coming. I'm like, Matt, we got to get started. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. We got to get going. And he held on for you.
Yeah. Same thing with Lauren Schultz's class. I was like, I actually knew a few weeks ahead of time that I couldn't make it to that one. But I was like, man, I just want to go back. And Travis asked me yesterday, he's like, you mind going on the podcast? And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, of course I want to go on the podcast. This is like the best.
Good.
Just to kind of, bullshit.
It is. And you guys are out here for Treetopia.
Yep.
Treetopia. It's going to be awesome. That's going to be this Friday, Saturday. So by the time you guys hear this, Treetopia is over. You guys missed it. If you didn't go, I'm sure they're going to have it again next year and stuff like that. But, man.
Unless you're catching it live right now.
Unless you're catching it live. Yeah, exactly. But, man, what a lineup that they have for Treetopia. Holy shit. Let's talk about it. You guys are both going to be speaking there, right?
Yep.
Now, what are you guys going to be speaking on?
You want to go first?
No, you go first.
So I'm actually responsible. Nick Bonner knighted me.
Yeah.
And told me that I was responsible for the crane zone. So we are bringing out our best equipment. We're bringing our crane simulator trailer out. If you were at Arbor Fest, in Asheville, you would have saw it there. But we've been getting a lot of requests to come out on the West Coast, and we're doubling down and driving it out. So right now I have 2 drivers driving it. And I believe, this morning I think they were in Wyoming. I'm sure they're in Utah now.
Yeah, they're in Utah.
Yeah.
I'm following them.
So we're really pumped to kind of just show everybody on the West Coast, what we've been doing in terms of technology and innovating education when it comes to
Because when you were on the show, you released it before TCIA.
Yes.
This was the platform we
announced it there.
Yeah,
that's right.
All these likes started. It blew up.
Yeah, we announced that we were getting the simulator and bringing it to TCIA, which was one of the probably most stressful moments of my life, because the week before there was some issue with crossing the border with taking acceptance of it. We had a temporary import. That's what it was. And we
Did
weren't
it come
sure.
through? It came through Canada.
Yeah, we had the whole thing built in Montreal, and then we got a temporary import to bring it to TCIA. And the week before, we weren't sure if it was actually going to happen, and we had a 10 by 70 foot booth, and we were like, "What are we going to put in our booth if this thing don't show up?"
Giant ball pit.
So we scrambled for a week, and then everything kind of just fell in place, and it happened. We're all worked out. We did 200 trainings in 3 days.
Holy shit!
Wow,
Holy shit.
It was insane.
Everybody,
and that was a learning experience, because we had to figure out how to take pee breaks. It was just nonstop training.
The simulator now has a urinal in it that was installed.
Yes. So we're bringing that out. I'm going to have my new I have a travel crane, which is I call it my pocket crane. It's a little 6.5 ton knuckle boom mounted on a Dodge 5500 that tows the trailer. So we have the 2 simulators. Then we have a stick controlled knuckle boom that we're going to do some training on. And then Eric Palacios is going to be bringing his 65 ton knuckle boom out, and we're going to do kind of like a coordination and controls training for attendees. And then we're also going to be doing a walk around inspection, for crane inspection. We're going to do a grapple saw talk, a 30-minute grapple saw talk. And then I'm teaching 2 90-minute talks on both days. The first one's going to be crane usage and cribbing for beginners. So it's kind of just like a general overview of what to expect when you're on the job for operations and setup. And then I'm doing another 90-minute talk on crane removals in tight quarters. So focusing on down to the moment, what do we have to be concerned about when it comes to hard targets, soft targets, deflection, capacity, limits on the crane. And then, like, where are we putting this? Do we have issues with tight quarters for the pick, or do we have tight quarters for the placement when it's done? And going over just kind of like those little details that a lot of people take for granted. And it's so crazy because this year I think I have 4 new talks that I haven't done before. I've been getting asked to speak at all these shows, and I'm trying to always just be new with fresh stuff. I hate talking about the same thing over and over. It kind of brings me back to my social media days where I got brought in for social media one-on-one classes, and I was like, I hate this. It was so boring. So I'm always trying to bring something new to the table and talk about different aspects of the job, and for the mindset of the operator, or the mindset of the ground crew, or the mindset of the climber. And I was really excited to do this. These 2 new topics for Treetopia. So we're really excited to be there.
I'm excited for the fact that you're going to leave this machine out here till Arborfest West. And if anybody, I'm working on him leaving it here. So if he leaves it here, guys, we're going to have so much fun. It's going to be awesome. Just come out any day, anytime to use it, where it's going to be sweet.
It's $1.50 per transaction.
I have a feeling Jared's going to be in there a lot.
Oh yeah.
It's very weird not having him sitting here right now.
I know, isn't it?
I almost miss him.
You need one of those fat heads on the wall.
Yeah, I will. I'll get one, and we'll set it in the chair.
And the good news is it won't have to get up and go to the bathroom halfway through.
Exactly.
Nice.
So So anyway, what we were talking about earlier is that this event is going to be our kind of launch for how we are going to be setting up our trainings in the future in terms of being able to show up to a city or show up to a town and be able to put on a one-day training, low expense, high value, for these groups. We've been working very closely with a couple associations on doing more virtual training, and I've never really been a big advocate for online learning, just because I feel like it's an excuse for people to not do the in-person. It makes people lazy. So how can we get people to show up to stuff, and make it easier for people to show up? Well, we just have to go to them. So if I can be able to stand up.
It's like a tent revival, but it's a crane revival.
Yes. I want to be able to show up with my truck and my trailer. We have chairs and set up a little tiny amphitheater in a baseball field. We'll bring our own trees, set the trees up, and be able to do a one-day class in and out next city. That's the plan, is to be able to host these small kind of micro events, and be able to do them at a very affordable cost for the attendees and low expenses for us.
Nice.
Because we talk about how many events there are every year, and being on the business side of it and dealing with the event coordinators, there's so much overhead, for these companies that put on these shows, like Cheryl Tree Stuff, Arbor Expo, the amount of money that it takes to do this, being able to do that same sort of experience, smaller scale, and be able to do it again and again and again, without
how many cities do you think you'd hit? What's the goal?
The goal would be every city. I mean, man, like no.
How many cities are there in the United States? Does anybody have a number to that?
You mean like major cities?
Yeah. What do we define as a city versus a town?
Whoever says the city next to it. No towns, just cities.
Oh, probably freaking 10,000.
Oh, I bet more than that.
Probably 10,000 in California. Can anybody look that up online that you're listening to? How many cities are in America? Because that's how many we got to set the bar high.
I would love to do that.
New Jersey Crane.
Oh my God.
10 million.
Now let me just say, coming here to Treetopia and coming out here, you got the gear on, New Jersey Crane. But this guy over here also has a New Jersey Crane shirt on. What's going on over in your world here?
Laundry day.
Laundry day.
No, so it's great to be back out here in California. Other than getting out here to California, I had the worst experience of my life with a rental car. I told you about earlier. I slept in a rental car at a rental car facility last night, or early this morning, because it wasn't open yet. I felt kind of like Ryan Torsicola at one point in my life. So Ryan, if you're out there, I got you.
Gosh, he comes up in every episode.
He does. I love him though. He's a brother of mine. But yeah, so back out here in California for Treetopia, doing working a class for Clogger, doing chainsaw positioning and use. I'm going to be looking at the new Clogger pants coming out right now, so that's kind of a cool thing we're doing. And then also I'm kind of knighted, to Hans's point, of safety for the entire event with Tree Stuff.
Nice.
And VSG. So they've kind of had me come in from my 15 years prior fire medic experience, looking at that kind of aspect of, hey, what can we do to make sure we're safe for our events? And what we can do to make sure that we have the best events possible, push the limit, obviously, but let's do it in a safe manner.
And you already been on site?
Yep. So been out to the rough site. I don't have the exact stuff yet. Thursday set up, so we'll go more in depth Thursday. But yeah, so also big news. Made a change of venue for myself. So last time I was on the podcast, I was with Davey Tree. Since then, I've pursued another opportunity, actually partnering up with my good friend here, Hans, and we have started a new venture called Noble Oak Safety and Training. That is the parent company, actually, of New Jersey Crane Experts. So the Noble Oak Safety Training aspect, our whole goal is to develop client-centered solutions for safety and education. It's not standardized. It's not cookie cutter. It's get to know the culture of a company, get to know the issues that they're dealing with, the pain points, and then develop specific solutions to their problems and work alongside them. So we're not trying to be everybody's training company. In fact, we really don't want to be everybody's training company. We want to be solutions for companies in specific areas. As we talked about last time, you guys know leadership is really kind of dear to my heart. So working on this new cutting edge idea of taking the crew leader or foreman level position and kind of taking it up a notch and training it, and actually looking at doing it as a mentorship style program where it's an in-depth dive, one-on-one interaction between a professional level educator and a foreman on jobs for 5 days, just getting in-depth problem-solving solutions right there, because we know what's taught in a classroom doesn't always apply in the field.
Yeah.
And it's so hard. So we're looking at kind of developing this new mentorship program in the industry where they're going to be out there right side by side along solving problems.
It's important because, I feel that in our industry, a lot of times we put the foreman or making someone a foreman because they're the best climber, right? Or that's how they get picked rather than the best leader for that position, for that. Someone just came up, 19,495.
So that's all, huh?
That's what you got to get. But that was back in 2018. So, wow, there's actually less than I thought.
There's probably less now. After
that's
COVID.
all. Okay.
They closed a couple cities now.
But, you guys who are listening to this, it's, man, if you guys never been to an event, go to these events. Because, they don't have it every single day. It's every quarter maybe. You have to travel to go to it. But they put one on here in California. There's going to be Arbor Fest in Reno, which is, 3 hours away. That's going to be absolutely awesome. But let me just go through some of this lineup we have here. We have Mark Chisholm and Chad Bray. RDO and Vermeer is going to be teaching. DMM on rigging. Petzel's going to be teaching. Hans and Rob Powell are going to be teaching. Nick Araya is going to be teaching. Craig Bachman for Tree U. Travis Vickerson. We got Rainbow's going to be teaching. Krista Stratton, Arborjet, Dawn. I mean, so many different individuals are going to be teaching for these 2 days. You can stay on site. It's going to be a really cool event. So this ain't a promotion for the event. This is just us saying, when you got events like this, go to them, guys. Man, the networking, the people you get to meet, the classes that you get, they've helped me build a bond with individuals like you guys selves from going to these. I just don't meet you with another tree company coming together, but at these events have been a special place in my heart that I just love to go. We got TCIA coming up in November. We got Arbor Fest coming up. We got some fun events happening.
The one really cool thing that I wish I could have made happen for Treetopia was bring my kids out. Because they have a whole kids area.
Oh man.
One of the it's got the whole Jambo vibe, where they're going to be doing a lot of the similar, fun activities like the ninja climb. They're going to be doing the claw game. They're going to have a whole kid. They're going to have a whole kid zone, and for me, that just gives me goosebumps because like I can just imagine. Dad or mom bringing their kids out there and their kids are like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then they just have the best time ever. The best, we just did a state rec climb at my house last month and we had a kids area and, Jordan's niece came out with with her cousin Erin and she was just climbing and swinging all over the place. Never ever did that before. We had a slack line, where they were just walking back and forth on the slack line, just balancing, and you just see the light in their eyes just light up.
That's awesome.
So, anytime there's kid stuff, I mean, that's not going to make big companies money, but that's just where it's at, like having stuff like that. And I appreciate them for considering that, as part of this event. It's a real cultural event. So I'm excited to be there. And I'm excited to see my Cali friends that I haven't seen in a couple of years because
like today, man.
Yeah,
we're going out to eat. Where are we going after this?
You're picking. I don't know. Someplace on the beach with seafood. I don't know.
I'm excited. You know who I'm excited to see? Nick Araya. I haven't seen him in a couple of years. I mean, I saw you and Jared last year, but for the most part, I don't get to see too many of my Cali friends. They don't usually travel anywhere. Everybody's either working or they got something going on. So I'm pumped. I'm really pumped about it.
Good. You know what I think is really interesting about this event is I get asked this question a lot by tree guys and gals in the industry is, how do I get better? How do I get to that next level? It's not going to come to your door and knock on it, right? You've got to invest a little bit in yourself, and that's what these events are. I learned more from competition climbing and attending events as a speaker as well as somebody taking classes than I ever learned doing production tree work. Because when you're in production tree work, you kind of get locked into routine. It's do the job, get the job done, go to the next job. Do the job, get the job done, go to the next job. And you don't have that chance to really network and learn and try things out and see different ways of thinking. I mean, I remember going to my very first competition down in Mobile, Alabama, and watching James Earnhardt climb. And it was just like, blown away at the way he moved through the tree. And I was there, and he was in my group, which was wonderful as a new competitor, to see and understand his vision of how he views the tree versus how I viewed the tree. And it started changing the way I did things. And I think it really does make you a better production climber. But I understand, it's a cost sometimes to go to these events, to travel these events. But invest in yourself. If you really want to get better, you got to invest in
Well,
yourself.
you can't beat this price. $99.
No,
I mean,
you
In California, that's almost the toll road, right?
Oh, holy
shit! That's a lot of these events, though. A lot of them are low cost. You know, I think
For what you get out of them, yeah.
Yeah, well, they're starting to get smart and realize they should be making the brands pay.
I mean, how many people did you read off that list? How many people are there teaching?
Oh man, there's a bunch. Some people were mad I didn't.
10 people?
I didn't name them. No, there's about 12 to 15 people teaching.
Well, you figure $100 investment per instructor. What you're getting out of that? I mean, you're paying nothing to hear a top. I mean, Mark Chisholm, he's a legend.
Lindsay Purcell.
Oh, Lindsay Purcell, yeah.
Lindsay Purcell's gonna be there doing
Nick
like
Araya.
an ISA crash course.
Yeah.
Awesome. I wish I can't even go to that because I'm gonna be talking at the same time.
Like, there's just such high level caliper education.
Yeah, that's what I'm
going
saying. If I had to stand up at an event like that, I'd be charging $600-700 a person just to cover my cost. But that's just because I'm small time. Compared to tree stuff or having Cheryl Tree events or
Yeah.
So it's awesome. It's awesome that we're still able to do stuff like this, and I think that I think people are going to come. I think that we've had a couple years off with COVID, so it might get some people excited.
Well, I know I'm real appreciative of VSG's kind of like continued involvement. That was one of my concerns when the VSG acquisitions went down. Was like, okay, is Tree Stuff going to stop being the educator that they are in the industry? And I know you told me earlier, Tree Stuff doesn't give out. Issues more CEUs than anybody else in the industry. Yep. They're the top educator in their industry. I was really worried that VSG was going to change that.
I think we give out more.
No, I don't know.
I think last year,
out, you earn
Jordan, how many CEUs did we give out? I think it was like 700.
I don't know. We got to see your Tree Stuff because we were here with Tom and Tripp, and they called Nick, and they're like, "We just found this out." Like they didn't know either.
Yeah.
And Nick's like, we give the most CEUs out than any other company, especially New Jersey Crane. They said.
I believe it's up there. I don't. Maybe they're not number one, but it's got to be up there.
Oh, Jordan said 1,200. We did 1,200 last year.
Right.
Oh, hey, Jordan.
What do we got?
We're gonna double that.
Jordan, text Nick and see how many he gave out last year.
He's gonna say 1,201.
1,201. Oh man.
But yeah, so I'm really appreciative of VSG's continue to reinvesting in our industry.
Yeah.
I think sometimes as businesses get bigger and bigger and bigger, they lose sight of that educational aspect. So it's really awesome they're doing that, and they're not the only one doing it. I mean,
what companies have you seen lose sight of that?
I think you look at just some of the acquisitions that have been occurring in our industry and some of the private equity coming into the industry. It's changed a little bit of some cultures out there, and I'm not going to name any certain companies specifically, but I think there's definitely people everybody can kind of identify that there's been some slight changes going on in cultures within organizations. So it's really good to see VSG doing that, and like I said, they're not the only one. You got RBI doing stuff with Shelter Tree now, and they're doing a lot of education as well. So now people are really seeing the value, like we talked about earlier, training and education.
Why do you think these private equity companies are getting involved in our industry when they never really have?
I think that there was a huge shift. I think there was a huge shift during COVID with people saying, "I'm out." A lot of old people.
Like,
I don't know.
Especially we're in our
we saw
area.
it before COVID though. It was happening. I think
it was.
There
was a generational shift, and I think that some of the younger people didn't get a chance to step up, and they sold out.
I mean, look at Arborwell. Arborwell was an ESOP. The people that once they paid off Peter, they sold the company to Save a Tree, which is private equity company that owns them. And to see that after 30 years, I mean, I have my own opinions on it. I thought it kind of sucked to see that, to build that and have it, somebody coming to buy it.
I don't know. I've been a part of an acquisition, so it is what it is, right?
But for the right price, there's no nostalgia.
I know, but it's still, to give it to the people that work for the company and then have it taken away from them after a short time.
Yeah, but ESOPs are very hard to sustain. I mean, Davey has been one of the only one out there that have been able to sustain it as long as they have. So I mean, I understand what Peter did, and I get why he did what he did. But
he gave it to his people.
Yeah, and then they made the decisions they made, which that's what happens.
People were like, "I'm out."
How often do we see that in public's traded stock? I mean,
yeah.
But I think the reason we're seeing more private equity get into it is the profit margins. You look at private equity has been in the landscape industry for a long time. Generally speaking, the landscape profit margins are in that 7.5% to 12% range. Residential and commercial tree care operations generally runs around 30%. So if I was an investor, well, am I going to invest in a company that's going to net me a 12% return or a 30% return? That's easy. So I think they started seeing that, and they started seeing that our market hadn't been touched with it, so it's ripe for the picking.
Well, I mean, it's awesome, them getting in, because you got some old timers that's just been slugging it out for 30 years. How do they get out of this, man? And right now, their only solution is I can take an ad on the back of a TCI magazine
and hope somebody buys
me. Say, man, 40 years, Miss Johnson's been a good client. We're just ready to sell it. And we got Betsy, their bucket truck. This is really good. That's their exit strategy. So, to have some companies come in to be able to pick up these bigger companies, really put some money in our industry. It's nice to see some of these companies getting paid, or these individuals that started.
And that's one thing that we're doing at Noble Oak Safety and Training is that's part of also our business model is looking at how to help businesses on the business aspect of tree care. Because what we know is most small to medium-sized tree care companies, the owners are really good at doing tree work. But they sometimes aren't always great at doing the business part of tree work. So it's partnering up with companies and coming in and bringing education, bringing knowledge. And we also have got some great vendor relations where we're able to pass that along to these small to medium-sized business companies so they can get the same buying power that the big guys are getting.
Okay, how does that work?
So we've got partnerships with certain vendors out there, certain end users and whatnot, different manufacturing brands, different middleman marketing type stuff, where we can pass that directly on. So, for instance, I'll use an example. So say Phil Rogacki Tree becomes a client of ours, and you start working with us, and we get you set up with a company of RBI Corp. So RBI Corp is a middleman marketing. So they buy from manufacturers and they resell. They're a reseller. Well, we get you set up with them, and now you can buy direct from the manufacturers. So you're getting 15% savings because you're not buying from the end using market. So it saves money, right? So we can do some of those kind of things. Now it's very selective. It's not everybody can be on board with this, but we've got things with Alltech. We've got things with, we're working on some things with some chipper organizations. We got stuff with BIK and cranes. It's definitely to do with cranes and stuff. So we're trying to make it where we're leveling the playing field a little bit. So not everybody's subject to the whims of the market because of what they're forced to pay. Because we all know, the larger companies can kind of set their, level of what they want to pay because of the size they are. So we're passing along to the small to medium-sized companies. But also, one thing a lot of people don't realize when they go to sell their company is if you put a little bit of work in on the front end before you go to sell your company, you can net that return huge in the back end.
So are you working with companies on acquisitions?
Yep.
And to be able to sell their company?
Yep. Helping companies get structured for acquisitions, make sure their policy procedures are in place, make sure they're compliant, because nobody wants to buy a non-compliant company.
Yeah.
Because all you know is a risk, right? So being risk averse and all those things, and helping companies understand, like, hey, if you really want to be marketable to be purchased, there's some things you need to have in play.
Yeah.
So we can partner with companies doing that too. So it's really that client-centered solutions for, and I hear it. I ran a small to medium-sized tree care company. I know he was involved in one. It's a grind every day because people think owning the company is the best job. No, it never ends.
That's what Tripp was saying. Tripp was like, these guys are slugging it out every single day, and they go home and like, fuck, I broke that rope today. I gotta call. And 40% of their sales is over the phone.
Yeah, I know.
I was like,
Catalog
over
stuff.
the phone?
Yeah.
I need
He's
it.
like, they just want to talk to somebody. They want to pick up.
It's the
they want to
same for
know
us.
that Joe answered. Joe's going to get them that rope, and they're going to get it to them.
We do the same thing. We have a couple of years ago, we redid our whole online registration process to make it as seamless as possible for people to register for our class. But I was very adamant about saying we need a full-time secretary that just answers phone calls all day long. Just because people want to be explained things, they want to be reassured, and they want to, if they're like not comfortable signing up online and putting a credit card on the internet, which is still a thing, people are like, I'm not putting my credit card on the internet. We'll figure out a way to get that happen. We just want to make it as easy as possible for people to participate.
And we realize we're a service industry. In training and education, it's still a service, no different than a tree care service is. And the best way to service is to provide that customer interaction. And no different than, I'm sure, Atlas, the same way. If you don't call people back, they move on to somebody else, right? Nobody wants to leave voicemails and not get called back.
When does a company, when you're owner operated, you got two guys with you. Most of them, they're answering the phones.
Yeah.
They're ordering the rope. They're ordering the gear. When does somebody make that purchase to have that individual will know, like, hey, I'm customer service is important. I'm going to hire someone full time in that office?
I think it depends.
I mean, when did you know? When did you know you wanted?
Right away. That was customer service was the whole part of why I started my business, was because I was working for another company doing training, and I saw a lack of that customer service, you know, when it came to executing the programs, you know. So I wanted to make it. I wanted my students to feel like they were being looked after during the class, before the class, and after. I didn't have control over the before. I had control during and after, because they gave me their phone number, they gave me their email address. I would check in on them. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure that it was kind of like, I don't know, I always compare it to like going on vacation and having a travel agent, you know. Having that full spectrum service experience was so important for me, down to when we have repeat students for other programs. Like we have them on a first name basis. We give them all name tags that have their name and their company on them, so they feel important. You know, that they're, you know, they're representing their company, you know, and it goes a long way in terms of, you know, I'll work this hard for you, but I expect you to work this hard in return, without actually saying that.
Yeah.
And that's where Hans and I have a great team, you know, build or partnership here. Is, you know, Hans sees things different than I see. I'm a data guy. Like, I'm a do it now, but I'm a data guy. So for me, it's a financial decision.
I'm a feels guy.
You're a researcher.
He's a feelsy guy.
I'm a feels guy.
He wants it to feel good, right? Where I want to know data. So, okay, how many calls are you answering? How many calls are you missing? What is your close rates? If you could track back your close rates of, you know, are you doing follow-up calls? Why are you not getting the close rates? You know, a lot of questions people don't ask. One of the number one questions that isn't asked by most tree care companies is why they didn't win the bid. And they're scared to ask that question, but that's a viable question. Hey, you know, he's hired somebody else. That's great. Hope we wish you best of luck.
Yeah.
But why weren't we in contention, right? Because that's good data. And then also financially. And, you know, Hans chose to go right directly into it. But I'm going to make a shout out to Michelle Mowers and her company called Pink Collars. I don't know if there's a way to tag Michelle Mowers in this, but if there is, we should definitely do it. She owns a company called Pink Collars, and all it is, it employs stay-at-home moms to provide phone answering services specific to the tree care industry. Her callers are all trained on how to answer tree care questions. So when you call a company, you're getting a live call picked up every single time by somebody. They're trained in like Arbor Gold and those kind of software systems where they can enter directly into a CRM system. They can set your appointments up for you and everything.
What's the company called?
Pink Collars.
Okay.
It's Michelle Myers. Great.
Are you saying callers or collars?
Collars, like
collars?
ring a ding ding
collars?
ding. No, like collars. Pink
collars.
Yeah, collars.
No, I thought
Collars.
you were saying collar, like
Collars.
a shirt
Yeah,
collar.
I'm like pink collars.
All right, you know what? You guys and my wife need to get together because she makes fun of how I say things all the time, like important. So you know,
Collars.
you guys just stop.
Pink collars.
Thank you.
Collars.
Yes.
Yeah.
www.pinkcollars.com. Michelle Myers' company, but it's a great thing if you don't ready to make that jump to a full-time position. You can go intermediate and have a package where they're going to answer maybe 20 hours, or they're, you know, all this different stuff, and they can help you with all that. So it's a
okay.
great service like that we connect people with.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so-
interesting for me because I believe I've met her before and heard about this a long time ago. But, you know, at that time, you're just like, we can do it ourselves. We don't need any freaking help, you know. And now it's like, yeah, we do need some help.
Yeah.
Plus, I love the fact.
My dad's been doing voicemail for 45 years.
And he calls everybody back.
Calls him back, but doesn't answer. And I'm like, yo, if I called you and you didn't answer, I'm
on the next one.
I'm calling 4 more people right now. And he's like, I don't want him anyway.
It's true. But so it's things like that we're trying to connect people with, because he's got a long history in the industry. I've got a long history in the industry. We both have multiple business sectors out there in the industry that we can help connect people with.
Yeah, and both of us, our phone books are very thick in terms of our network. Like I've had conversations and I've been able to link people up for business opportunities, and you know, we'll have conversations. I'm like, oh, you know, you need to talk to Phil, or you need to talk, you know, you got to talk to this person, and you know, we just from being at the shows and
I mean, that's where you get it. This networking at shows. I read somewhere, I don't know who it is, but I'm sure you've probably heard it at some point. If you can't replace your income today off just the contacts you have in your phone, you need to network more. You should be able to replace your income in within a month, within 4 weeks, just based off your networking within your phone book. And that's huge. And that happens at these events, like Treetopia for $99.
And
so have you done that, becoming a free agent?
Have I been a what?
You leaving DRG,
Uh-huh.
right? using your phone book.
Let me
Is
ask
it
you a
working?
question. Did we have a conversation? did we have a conversation?
Well, we're here.
We're here.
All I'm
We're
saying.
here.
All
All
I'm saying
right.
is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? No, I did. I absolutely did. I absolutely, was looking to make a move, change opportunities. I made some phone calls, talked to different people.
That's good, man.
What's really weird is word got out really quick that I was looking to make a change.
I put a post on social media.
Somebody had to, because we were in conversation and all of a sudden my phone started blowing up.
I didn't say anything.
I didn't know.
Somebody, I don't know, somebody somewhere, your phone's tapped by NASA or somebody. I don't know.
That's Alexa. Alexa.
Oh,
That's,
it's Alexa. I don't have that either.
Yeah, or Google. Google
Siri.
gets it. Siri. They listen to
But
everything.
yeah, and my phone started blowing up. Like, hey, I heard you're looking to make a change. It's like, huh?
There you go.
So yeah, it's important to network. I think sometimes tree workers forget the industry they're in. I think they just kind of get so tunnel visioned in being a tree worker, they forget they're part of a bigger ecosystem.
Yeah.
Gotta get a drink.
No, this is good, man. This is good stuff. I'm glad you guys are here, man. I really am.
I'm glad you asked us to do this.
It
was last minute.
I love doing it. I just love getting on here and shooting the shit, and because it's not. I mean, the conversations are great, but it's like your memories in Facebook or Instagram. They come up, and you're just like, oh, I remember that. That was awesome. I remember that. And listening to these and the stories we say, I can watch myself grow up and mature through them and get better, and to hear these conversations and stuff like this. I mean, it'll live forever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I couldn't miss this opportunity. Yeah. We're missing one dingleberry here. If you don't know what a dingleberry is, look it up. That's Jared. He's not here, but he's
busy
out,
training it.
He's out in the field. He's working today and helping some, past students out and making sure they can perform what is expected of them.
Now, you and Jared will be at Treetopia?
I will probably come there in the afternoon on Friday for a little bit just to see you guys again and have some beers at night and see what it's all about. Go see some people that absolutely love me there, like Sarah Hahn from A+, because A+ is hosting it.
Yep.
And A+ is, my would have been my alma mater. Is that how you say it?
Yeah,
Sure.
Alma mater.
Don't ask me how to pronounce things, evidently. So.
That was where I started everything at, at A+. So I have a special love with A+, and Sarah, she is just love her. She's awesome. Creator, designer, builder. I mean, that whole website just has her all over it. And shout out to my buddy Illuminaries, Tim Hahn, her brother, who did that drawing that's been posted up everywhere from there. But you can catch a lot of his art all over buildings. One time Tim sent me a picture, and I'm like, you got to be shitting me. Somebody put my name on a train? I'm like, I mean, what are the odds of somebody with the same last name writing on a train? That's crazy. And then he showed me another name next to it. I'm like, wait a minute, that says Tibbetts, and that says Rogacki. I'm like, did you paint my name on the train? He's like, yeah, I put it on there for you, man. I'm like, yeah,
Put it on there for you.
I put it on there for you. No, but I know there's been zero expense spared for this. It's gonna be good, and I know that nighttime is gonna be pretty awesome. So I'm gonna make sure we don't miss it, and I'm pushing Jared on coming there. Saturday I might not be there, but I'll be there
bass
Friday.
fishing.
Huh?
Can be fishing.
I think I might go hiking. I'm trying to get ready for this race, and I got to put in.
See, I feel better now, because if you said you were going fishing, I was like, hey,
I got
Hans,
the bass boat out there.
I'm
We
out.
can.
I'm going.
You fish, Hans?
I don't.
I'm trying to get him into it.
I just do cranes.
His ADD is too much for
I
fishing.
swear to God, I literally just work all the time, but it's not work.
Has anybody ever caught a bass with a crane?
Ooh.
Would that set a world record?
Question
Or
is,
first
would
ever?
you go topwater
No,
or would you go
but
sinker?
I don't know,
but I
like,
am
pulling like.
One of the things that I am working on, which I don't even think
World's largest
I
fishing
don't think I
pole.
told Travis yet, is that I'm gonna try. We are gonna figure out how to run a real crane from across the country with the simulator.
Yeah.
You're gonna do what?
We're gonna
have an idea.
We're gonna hook the simulator up to a real crane and operate it from across the country.
So he's going to, I'll be somewhere doing a class with a crane.
Okay.
He's going to be in his simulator in New Jersey.
Okay.
And we're going to operate the crane maybe here at the Academy in California from New Jersey to show the importance of really good communication on job sites.
How do you guys do that?
Magic.
We don't know yet.
We
but
don't know
we're
yet.
gonna Figure it out. We have the technology to do it in the simulator. It's just a matter of connecting it to the truck.
Yeah. It'd be awesome, though, wouldn't
It's
it?
gonna
Dude,
be, it's
that's
gonna,
game changer
It's gonna
shit.
be awesome. I know a guy who ran a bulldozer in Dubai from Texas.
Holy shit.
So it can be done.
It can be done.
But it really comes down to, and especially if we're going to be making actual live picks with a climber
Yeah.
entry,
So,
it's going to be
but-
communication.
These are the things that I'm working on now that Travis is driving revenue.
I love it.
Wow. No pressure, Hans. Thanks.
I love it.
Thank you very
He's
much.
going to do such a great job, man. He's going to kill it. He's going to kill it. He's going to do great.
Well, if you want to look up our websites, whynoble, WHYnoble.com.
Let's look it up. What is it?
WHYnoble.com.
WHY.
And the logo is a Hans original. It's an awesome logo that he did. And we're still working on building out the website. It is nothing spectacular yet, but it will be in the future.
You know, it actually looks like a monkey.
What?
A monkey.
A monkey?
I got a monkey face when I opened it up. Does that sound weird? I see like the eyes like this and the mouth, and I see the little ears with the crown like King Louis.
Well, Alicia said it looks like an angry face, so, but she thinks the Jeep
I said,
grills look like
no,
an angry
it's
face.
it's like royalty, but I got a monkey out of it.
We
I
went
like
through
it.
a few. We went through a few design options.
Here it is, Noble Oak.
Travis and I had our first disagreement.
Yeah.
We did.
How'd that play out?
Great logo.
Yeah,
Who came up with you came up with the logo?
Ike did. We had
Okay.
about 5 different versions. So
I like it.
We went through a creative process together.
We
And
did.
what I've realized, and this is something that I didn't expect coming into the dynamic, is for those who don't know, there is an unspoken individual, Jordan Tielmann, who is Hans's wife, who really runs the company.
women-owned business.
She's the owner of the business.
that's
We
how-
both work for her.
That's how it runs.
And they usually end up in conversations that I get interjected into as like the middleman, and I'm like, I didn't remember signing up for marriage counseling here. So it works great though, because usually Hans is on one end of the spectrum and Jordan's on the other end of the spectrum, and I kind of play the middle ground. And it works out really well, and the logo came out fantastic. It was not what I wanted originally, and it wasn't what he wanted originally.
We met in the middle.
We did.
We did.
It turned out really great.
Compromise. I mean, that's it. I mean, I get in battles with this guy all the time on stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, we need to do this. Well, no, we need to do it this way. And I tried to listen to everything. I'm like, okay, let me play this through. I'm like, yeah, that's stupid.
And that's why, Jared, you're not here today.
That's stupid.
By the way, we meant to tell you.
No, but he does have he has some good shit. And I'm like, oh, I didn't see it that way. Okay, I guess we can do it that way. And some stuff you got to know when to battle on something, or just it's
Feels
not
worth
that
dying
big a
on.
deal.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that big a deal.
So for those who are looking to contact us, obviously I do not have social media. Yes, I am on LinkedIn, but that's the only social media I have.
Yeah.
Will not be getting back on social media. It's actually in my contract that I will not be on social media.
yeah.
But I,
That nothing to do with it. But Hans
also,
is.
Wait,
also,
it's in your contract.
also
yeah.
in his contract is I actually own the Travis Vickerson brand now.
Yes. in social media only. He cannot pimp me out on the corner.
Man.
So yeah, so if
So
you
what
want
do
to
you do with
contact
that?
us,
I'm gonna turn him to the next Kleenex. There's no more tissues. It's Vickerson.
Vickerson.
That's it.
yes, I don't know. I don't know. If
I
I'd
think
agree
that
to.
could happen.
I don't
That
know.
could happen.
Yeah, he should have
Hey,
negotiated a little harder.
sometimes you got to give things up in a contract.
I like that. I mean, you sold your name.
Yeah, for
Sold
now.
your name. That's all right. That's all right. That's good. That's
I
good.
sold to a good person though. I didn't sell
you
to
did.
you.
I won't make him look bad.
So if
I
you want
only
to contact
I
us,
only make our customers and our staff look good.
so you can obviously hit us up at Instagram through Hans. You can Facebook, LinkedIn. You can hit us up on LinkedIn, or you can just go to the website, hit us up that way. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
as
easy stuff.
far as the as far as the differences, New Jersey crane experts still going to do cranes.
Yeah.
But we want to be able to separate the two. Even though I had a whole campaign that says we train other things besides cranes.
And now,
And
isn't it funny how it changes?
so now Noble Oak will.
So where did Noble Oak come from? Where did the name?
So
come
Noble
from?
Oak was my Shell tree service name, because in New Jersey you have to have a state license, so I had to hold it somewhere.
Yeah.
So I still do like expert witnessing and consulting. So it was under Noble Oak. I didn't want to go to court and do tree witnessing and then being like, oh, what's a crane guy doing here? So Noble Oak was my tree service that
Gotcha.
I never did tree work with.
Shell
So
Corporation.
we transfer that and just added safety and training to it.
Good.
We originally were going to go with training and safety, and then Jordan pointed out it would not look good.
What? By
It'd
saying
be-
training and safety?
Well, our
not safety
abbreviation
and
would be
training?
NOTS.
It would be not. Yeah.
We're like, yeah, it's a little too close.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go that way.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
are you going to go with Nats or not?
No.
You get to pick.
yeah. So we don't want to do that.
Now it's Nost.
Nost.
Yep.
Nost.
But no, and again, what Nats does really well, and we're not trying to take away any other
Look what
businesses.
it says. Come to Canada.
Come to Canada. You were right.
I
know,
told
hey,
you.
I want to go to Canada.
Hey,
it's cool. Up there.
Tree Nerd. We were. That's his name.
Oh,
on
I
here.
was like,
Yeah, I'm
can't
like,
call
hey,
him
Tree
that.
Nerd. That's what I call everybody here. No, but Hans was talking about that. He's like, dude, have you been to Canada yet? And I'm like, in my impression on Canada from that you guys train all the time. And I don't know, I got it from one school up there in Canada years ago. I was reaching out to the school trying to recruit a bunch of people to come work for us out of the school, but I just had a hard time getting people over the border to come work here. And I thought everybody was trained in 4-year college education and all this. And he was like, no, these guys are hungry for more training. And Tree Nerd wants us to come to Canada, or wants you guys to come to Canada. But you were just there.
We're coming back. I'm going to see him.
We're going on a world tour. We're going to go on Canada,
going back
Australia,
up.
New Zealand, China, Japan. We'll go everywhere.
Oh yeah, I got asked, 2
Probably
years
avoid
ago.
Russia right now,
2
but-
years ago, I got asked to go to India,
See?
and Jordan said no.
What?
Yeah,
Jordan, what the heck?
They were going to sell him.
so
They were going to kidnap him and sell him.
no. The guy was like, "You got to come here and just talk to these guys." There's like, we don't have OSHA out here. They're like, you just got to tell these guys that he was like, you can't wear sandals and climb trees. That's literally what he said. He's like, you got to tell people about boots.
Well, so let me ask
I was like, you want me
to?
to come out to India to talk about boots?
Where does it say you have to wear boots to climb trees?
It says that you have to wear proper footwear.
What is proper footwear?
Closed,
Define proper footwear.
closed toe shoes.
Where does it say that in the definition of proper footwear?
I didn't bring my.
This is a
book.
conversation. This is a theological conversation. Ryan and I got into a while back
Okay.
about this. And he was
Yeah.
like, technically, what defines proper footwear? And I was like, closed-toed boots. He was like, why? And I was like, well, because. He's like, no, where does it say that?
Maybe it's just can't.
I
fall.
went through the ANSI standards. I went through OSHA standards. I could not find anywhere that says it has to be a closed-toed, lace-up boot over the ankle, like we always expect. Couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Anywhere. So, technically speaking, if you got some tree sandals, just saying. If you do the Crocs and flip it in the 4-wheel drive mode, I mean, would those work? I don't know.
I thought about that on the plane today. Was wear my Crocs.
I wouldn't talk to you.
Hey, let me tell you, they're making a comeback. Big time.
I refuse.
I'm going to get a pair.
I
Just
I,
FYI.
I
wear
have
them.
I have foot problems, and they're the only things that make my feet feel good.
You got to get, I just bought Hokas. Have you ever worn Hokas before?
No, they probably don't make them my size.
They make them your size.
No, they don't.
And they make wide.
Okay.
So thick sole on this. And I thought these
Do
shoes.
they have Velcro?
I'll be 7 foot tall.
Do
with
they-
thick
they-
sole.
No,
They
but
strap
I
them with
thought
Velcro, Phil.
the first time I seen these shoes, I was like, I'll never wear those ever. And then time went on, and I'm doing this race here in August, and I was talking to the guy who's hosting it. I said, man, I just have flat feet. He's like, Hokas, you need Hokas. He's like, you can go for miles in those. I'm like, really? I'm like, man, I had 3 other people tell me this. And then I was hiking on the train, HOKA. Then I'm hiking on the trails, not the train, the trails. Every other person had these shoes, Hokas. And I stopped 3 people. I go, hey, how do you like those shoes? Oh, I love them.
Is it like a cross trainer, or is it like a boot, or?
No, it's a tennis shoe, a hiking shoe, But yeah, they're called I think Goat 5, Speed Goat 5 is the one I got. They're awesome. They're awesome, and I've been running in them and hiking in them, and
I should give
they're
them a try.
good.
I have horrible feet.
So it's like
problems.
that, yeah, but thick, cushiony sole that you have if you have feet that hurt a lot like me.
My
with
biggest
flat
problem
feet.
right now is this time of year I live in sandals, pretty much flip-flops, like live in them.
Yeah.
And then when I go put my climbing shoes on to go teach, that night I can't sleep because my legs hurt so bad. So I'm like pounding ibuprofen and get up in the middle of the night stretching and like, hey, and then come winter, I'm fine because my feet are
Yeah.
used to it. But then when I get back to summer, my feet hurt in sandals. And coming in Raleigh, North Carolina, like when I left on Sunday, it was like 106 heat index.
Oh shit.
So I'm like, I want t-shirt, shorts, and flip-flops.
You've been catching some bass on your lake?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
man.
so the lake we live on is way down. It's down like 3 feet.
Really?
Like so I built some fish habitats, which I have came up with a really cool idea of using corrugated black drainage pipe, drill holes in it, and then put 1/4-inch PVC pipes to build like cross sections. You throw them in the water with rocks, and it weights them and pulls them down, and then the algae all sticks to it. The fish live in it.
Habitat.
That's great.
I like it.
So I got 3 of those. Well, now like one of them sticking out of the water because the water's so low. And I haven't been on the lake with a boat because it's just so hot. Like if you're not out at 4 a.m, you're not getting anything. So I think the best bass I brought in the last month has probably been 3 pounds.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But fall's coming. Fall's coming. I feel good about it. So how many people we got watching this right now? Are we talking like just Jordan?
We got 20. Jordan.
All
yeah,
right.
Just Jordan. No, man, I'm excited about these different events coming up. Are you going to go to Winter Management?
Of course
That's the plan.
Yeah.
We're going to be there.
Have you been to Winter Management before?
Never have.
What?
I was supposed to go the year COVID happened, and then COVID shut it down.
We had the best time.
That's what I hear.
I mean, last year...
Jordan may not agree. I'm going to try and bring as many of our staff as I can afford to Winter Management this year.
So he's bringing 2.
No, it's not Hawaii, so I don't have to...
Where's it at?
St. Thomas.
St. Thomas.
And by the way...
St. Thomas?
I've been there.
Have you seen the TCIA page for it yet? They posted a video like this week of the place it's going to be at. All I got to say is wow.
It's
impressive.
It's always a wow.
But they said they're stepping it up.
This place is wow.
They're going to be raising the bar on some of these places.
And it says in there price has gone up. Like it's like $1,500 to like it's gone up.
Yeah,
but
it's going to go up.
If you're a business owner and you're not there, you're missing out.
They're getting so many people that are coming to this. They don't have the room.
They can't. They have to limit it. They have to every year. I think it sells out.
Well, we gotta get on that. Registration opens in September, I think.
Well, the hotel usually sells out.
The hotel's like already sold out. I bet.
That'll suck.
I'm pretty sure because I remember.
Well, don't tell me that. It starts fucking freaking me out because I always wait till the last minute.
You gotta do it soon. I'm telling you. I'm pretty sure that we booked it before we even left Hawaii just to know where it was or something like that. Jordan was on top of that when they were going to release all that.
All right,
get on it. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
But there's always an offsite property, but it's not as cool.
No, it's not. You got to stay on that property. You got to
stay there.
Because one time I stayed in an Airbnb and we got a golf cart, which was awesome to drive back and forth. And I brought little decals and we put our decals on the golf cart, and everybody thought we were so cool because they thought we shipped our golf cart to Puerto Rico to drive around.
That's not a bad idea.
And then we sold it while we were there. So we had to ship it back.
Yeah. Oh man.
But I actually just got back. I won the ASTI auction.
Okay.
I went to Virginia Beach.
How was that?
It was awesome. It was donated by Xylem Tree Experts out of Virginia Beach, and we had the best time. We stayed at the Cavalier Hotel, which was I took notes on hospitality for. I was like, I want to do this in class. Like, I want to do this. You're gonna white glove training.
He's gonna start
environment.
forming the swans and towels for people.
I was like, I want to give everybody a robe when they show up for class.
Here's your slippers, Mr. Rogacki. Here you go.
It was so nice. I felt so pampered. I was like, that's kind of how I want my classes to be, though. I want people to feel like they're looked after.
Well, you got the fireplace.
So
and
we
nice
went.
Music going.
So we had dinner. It was 3 nights that we were there, and then we got a tour of the steel plant in Virginia Beach, which is closed to the public. It's only dealers only. And oh man, that was the coolest experience.
Really?
Literally, they make chainsaws from scratch, from raw materials. It's like baking a cake, and at the end there's a freaking chainsaw. I was like, it was so cool.
Were you allowed to take a lot of pictures in there?
No, they were like no phones, no recordings, nothing. We had to go through a debrief.
Did they lock up your phones?
No,
because they have these little bags now they give you, and you zip up your phone in it.
But the facility, it was 2 million square feet, production plant, and multiple buildings. We went on a 2-hour tour. I probably could have stayed there all day long. And what was really cool was as we walked in, they had the little steel robot lawnmowers going around cutting all the grasses. All the grass around.
You know what's cool about those robots is I love those things. Like Husqvarna has them, Steel has them, but they don't cut lines. I like a yard to look like
it won't
Yankee
cut.
Stadium.
You gotta
straight lines. I like that baseball
You gotta
field.
cut it once for real, and then it maintains it. So you can't have it go cut in the field.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. I mean, the whole place was really cool. We had a good time there. It was a good trip. But I won the. I was one of 10 people to win the ASTI auction items. First of all, it was $500 a plate to go. Okay. And then I remember going there and I'm like, I'm buying something. I was like, I
Been
gotta
on that
show.
pin.
I was like, I gotta show these big wig freaking executives that I mean business. And I said to myself, I'm buying something. I don't care. Well, I had a limit.
Yeah, I bet you did.
But I did not get permission from my wife.
No, he got permission from the owner of the company.
But I was like, I'm winning something. I'm making a donation to ASTI, and I was like, and then I'm gonna make sure everybody knows I'm here. I mean business, and I won. I won that.
Man.
It was like the 8th thing that they gave away. One of the trips, they did a trip to Italy for 8 days. It was like $25,000.
Oh my gosh, who bought that?
All the wives are bidding. They're like, the husbands were just sitting there, and they're like, me. And
25 grand?
Oh, it was 25. It was 8 days for 7 people with a chef at a villa.
See, my ass is always like, am I going to like this food? Am I going to like this hotel? What are the reviews on it? Like, I want to do
if
some
somebody's
research.
if I'm having a personal chef in a villa in Italy, I'm probably gonna like his food.
So,
or her
but
food.
like I said, it was cool. There
True.
were 75 people there. They were all people of influence in the industry, and I wanted them to know that I was there for a reason. You know,
They know.
so
But
I
can we
did.
go back to a different thing real
And
quick?
like I said, I had a good time. It wasn't like it was a flop.
Hey,
you know,
I was there too. I was just on the other side of the bushes sitting there looking over. I was really right there, and I was throwing stuff over.
Xylem Tree, though, you mentioned them. They were the ones.
Yeah.
Talk about a company that's blown up.
and they were like
Like they're huge now.
Really?
Oh my god, East Coast. I saw a post today. If you're somebody looking to get into a skills trainer position, I saw a post for Xylem. They're looking for skills trainers like Tennessee, Ohio, Kentucky. Like they have blown up. They've got a great marketing campaign going on. I mean, just phenomenal. And their equipment looks really good.
Yeah.
Like really good looking equipment. So shout out to Xylem. I mean,
you know, definitely shout out. So
look 'em up.
if I go again, I'm gonna try and if they do the same thing again, I'm gonna try and win it again. Good tax write off and a vacation, and I got to flex a little bit in front of.
we're
some
gonna have a
people.
budgeting meeting before we
I'm
go.
going to go just to push you to. I'm like,
No.
you're going to let that
Phil,
dude buy
stop.
that in Italy? Come on,
Phil,
hon.
no.
You got this.
Oh, Phil,
You
stop.
got this.
I was like hanging out, or they're like Altec, like the head guys from Altec, Moorbark, BIK were there, Davey, Bartlett, like all these freaking people were there. Tim Walsh won something. He like bid something there.
Yeah, we are going to have a budgeting meeting prior to this. Just FYI.
So, but it was a good time. It was.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And it was our first. It was me and Jordan's first vacation by ourselves since we had our first son in 4 years.
Holy
Otherwise,
shit.
it was for work or with kids.
You guys needed that.
We needed that.
Jordan told me the other day she's very excited about St. Thomas, so she can go hang out with my wife at the pool, and you and I can work the entire time.
That's fine. I'm fine with that.
I was like, okay,
I'm fine.
I'm
with
going
that.
to St. Thomas.
Let me
I
tell you
don't care.
something. We went
I'm going with
to
it.
You're gonna love
we
it.
went to Hawaii
Uh-huh.
this year, and Phil and Jared have all these meetings, and I'm like walking around having my meetings, and I'm like I'm passing out at 6 o'clock, and I like passed out every. I was so tired. 6 hour time change. They were like only 3 hour.
We're going to play golf
We can do whatever we want.
because isn't there a big golf tournament that occurs?
Yeah,
they
yeah.
do.
There's a golf tournament. There's all sorts of shit.
Can we have
Yeah,
teams?
I was supposed to play golf, and then I missed tee off. I ended up going to the pool. We were supposed to. Weren't we supposed to?
Yeah, I waited
we were-
for you. I waited for you at the pool, and you never showed up.
No.
He was at the other pool.
Weren't you supposed to be in our foursome?
No. I was with
somebody else.
Stige. Oh well, somebody
Missed.
No,
It was
they were
me.
switching.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
they
it
were
was-
like switching people and stuff, and then
Is it a best ball tournament?
no, it was. We'll have them on the show. It was a Bandit Vermeer thing, supposedly, and switching or
okay.
something like that, and. We were going to be in another group, and then we were with this group, but it all worked out.
Well,
It
somebody
great.
was supposedly looking forward to golfing with me, and then I stood them up. So I thought it was.
Well, we know golf is really not your thing unless you're hitting the ball with
I
a
did
knuckle boom.
hear people kind of talking about that.
Yeah.
I did. I remember that.
So, but
oh,
I honestly, I
that
was-
Hans
I was
guy.
kinda-
He flexes, at the auctions, and now he doesn't even show up for these meetings. What,
He was too
who
busy
is-
planning
who
his trip
is
to
this
Virginia
guy?
Beach.
How many
I-
flexes
but
is he going to do? In
I was
one-
so
one
tired. I
trip?
ended up just sitting by the pool and sleeping.
Wow.
So
Oh man. Well, listen, we're gonna have a great time.
Oh, it's been great.
We're gonna have a great time at Treetopia hanging out. We're gonna have a great time in Arborfest and a great time in Winter Management when it's
you're
coming, and TCI.
And you're forgetting one more. Trees and utilities.
trees and utilities. Because
there's a chance.
I haven't committed yet. To
I
that.
know, but there's a chance.
I haven't committed yet to that.
You and I may be there together.
I haven't committed.
I know, but I'm working it.
Many times we're going to be able to hang out. So I appreciate you guys coming.
That's great.
All the way from the East Coast just to be here at the podcast
Yes.
of Two Tree Guys. And, it happens just to be Treetopia happening down the street, but that's okay for that. Anything you guys want to say to the people out there to close us out?
yeah, if you have questions or you want to talk about training or you want to talk about anything, please reach out to us. We are more than happy to shoot the breeze with you anytime. We're always looking for new training topics, things that are interesting people. If you're in an area that desperately needs training, let us know. Like I said, we are trying to figure out ways to inject education into areas that aren't as popular. Or maybe you're in a big city and you want us to come out and do a crane class. Speaking of that, we're doing the crane certification class the day after Treetopia ends. So Treetopia is Friday and Saturday. Sunday and Monday, we're doing a cert class in California. So if you want to come, there's still some room left, okay? We're going to be actually renting out the Coal Shack Brewery.
That's a cool place.
We're renting out the Coal Shack Brewery to do the training. We're going to be using A+'s Altec crane, and we're using Eric's Knuckle Boom to do testing on. So if you guys want to get certified, there's still some space. Sign up on the website, njcraneexpert.com.
Great opportunity to get both your Knuckle Boom certification and your Stick Boom at one time. Most people don't realize that. You can get both certifications at one time with that class. And it's only a 2-day class. So great class, great opportunity. I just want to tell everybody, when you're looking at training and education, I know we've talked a long time. We're great partners with Academy Trained. What we're really looking for is elevating that standard. Mm-hmm. Taking it to the next level. If you're dealing with a training company and you don't feel like you're getting what's really your needs, get a different company.
Yeah.
Find the need that you have in training and do that need, right? Contact us, contact Phil Academy. We're working together now. We're kind of helping each other out in things. So we're going to be doing more stuff together, hopefully. And, it's not a problem. We're going to make it work, and we're going to make it work together. It's a good cooperation, we'll call it. Cooperative.
Even if you don't know what you're looking for,
we can help you find it.
Yeah. We will literally tell you what to do.
No, we won't. We're going to get to know your culture, and then we'll help you understand what you need.
I will tell you what you need to do. All right.
Also,
Travis will talk to you about the culture.
Shameless plug, if you're looking for another great book to read, Safety Differently by Sidney Decker and Todd Conklin. Great book talking about removing safety clutter from your life and really kind of reshaping our way and getting out of our own problems. We create our own issues in this industry and other industries because we create too much safety clutter. Mm-hmm. So a great book, great read, easy read. Definitely check it out on Amazon.
Awesome.
To you, Phil.
To me?
To you.
I'm going to close this thing out. I mean...
Close it out,
and then we're going to close it out tonight
hungry.
with some beer and some food. But, guys, appreciate everybody listening to this. Appreciate all you people who are sharing this right now, tagging your friends, because it was just an awesome podcast, hearing from two industry leaders here talking about training and education and, how to help each other out in this. So share this, continue to share it. If you don't share it,
shame on you.
Yeah, shame on you. Shame on you.
And check out Pink Callers if you're looking for a phone answering service.
Callers, not collars. Callers.
Shut up.
No, but again, appreciate you guys listening on the show. Another episode. You love it, like it, share it, and continue to keep elevating the standard of our industry through safety, training, and innovation. All right, we're out. Bye.